2025 moved like a breeze, and we're almost in the fall season. And just like in every season, it's time for me to bring into your attention the 10 best romance anime you should be adding to your watch lists. Here are the 10 best romance anime of fall 2025. Let's go! Number 10, My Awkward Senpai.
はじめまして、亀川優です。
責任重大やけど頑張らんと。わからないことがあればすぐに聞け。それで済ませるつもりか。
Kanawa Senpai isn't your typical smooth operator. In fact, she's awkwardness personified. Enter Kamegawa, her new co-worker who's cute, a bit nerdy, and surprisingly easy to chat with. Pretty soon, these two have a strange dynamic going on, and Kanawa starts to get the usual butterflies in her stomach. Damn butterflies always making things awkward.
名刺交換の練習だ。
先輩、大丈夫ですか？
またやってしもうた。
This is probably going to be like Komi Can't Communicate, except this time the girl can communicate, but she needs to improve it. Besides, this happens in your office, so you can get the usual lovey-dovey office romances instead of confessing under the cherry blossom tree. We're getting a lot of office romance anime with adults recently, and that's a trend I won't be complaining about. Number 9, Inexpressive Kashiwada and Expressive Uta.
でも太田のそんなとこが好きだよ。
Uta's the class clown, the guy who can't hide what he's feeling even if he tried. Schoolwork, failing tests, yeah, this guy's got everything, but he's way more interested in Kashiwada, the mysterious girl who never shows a single emotion. His goal? Break the blank face with pranks, scares, and dumb jokes. Of course, things don't exactly work out how he pictures them, but somehow their weird back and forth starts turning into something kinda sweet.
これはデートじゃねえ。
やっぱり照れてる。
I'm always into the whole opposites attract thing, and that's pretty much why I love the whole popular girl falling for the unpopular boy trope. Just check out how many videos I've done on that topic. Anyways, the animation looks good, the plot sounds interesting, and it seems to balance comedy and romance well, so I'll keep an eye out for this one. Number 8, Chitose is in the Ramune bottle.
私もよろしくね。もしよければお付き合いしましょうか。言いたいことも言ったし、また明日から楽しく頑張りましょう。
Saku Chitose is that guy everyone secretly argues about. He's called Class 5's playa, but at school he's the friendly dude everyone trusts. Starting his second year, he hangs out with old friends and even scores some new high-status ones. But his smooth sailing takes a turn when his teacher drops a mission on him. Drag Kenta Yamazaki, a shut-in and one of Saku's loudest haters, back to school. Problem is, trying to win over someone who can't stand you.
振られて落ち込んだりしてみようぜ。どうやらそういうのを青春って呼ぶらしい。
Now, the plot starts to sound like a BL story, but surprisingly it isn't. In fact, this is probably one of those things that twists the usual harem tropes. I haven't read the source material, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Saku is definitely going to stand out as a protagonist, because instead of your lowly complaining otaku, we've got the popular boy leading the drama here. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Number 7, may I ask for one final thing?
何とおっしゃいましたか。
今この瞬間をもって貴様との婚約を破棄させてもらう。
末永く幸せな夫婦になると誓いますわ。
If you're thinking, man, I wish we had more villainous anime because the 7 billion villainous anime that got released within the last 5 years wasn't enough, then I've got good news for you. Scarlett's life crashes hard when her fiance Kyle dumps her at a fancy party and slaps her with the title of villainous, because that's what fiancés of villainesses do these days. Overnight, the same nobles who cheered her on start calling her a bully and pretending they never liked her.
よくもこれまでの苦行を台無しにしてくれましたね。だから全員ぶっ飛ばしても構いませんわね。
After years of Kyle's garbage attitude, Scarlett's finally done. She asks for one last thing, to punch him right in the face. From there, it's all about her comeback, taking Kyle and his crew down with revenge. I'm really happy we get to see a villainess being a villainess instead of a villainess getting reincarnated and trying to be good. Hopefully, they'll not make it too edgy or too wholesome, because I really need some good villainous anime. Number 6, Yano-kun's Ordinary Days.
毎朝言ってるけど大丈夫？
骨にひび入っちゃった。
教科書忘れちゃって。
じゃあ机くっつけようか。
Kyoko Yoshida is the super dependable class president of 2 to 1, always kind and responsible. One day of the semester, a new kid, Yano Tsuyoshi, shows up late, already covered in cuts and scrapes. Kyoko freaks out a little and decides to follow him home. It turns out he's not some scary troublemaker after all, he's just an unbelievably clumsy kid. From that day, she makes it her mission to take care of him, even as she slowly realizes she might actually like this walking disaster. The trailer pretty much sold me on this one. I know this has the generic romance overtones, but if you're looking for some wholesome slice of life romance, then I feel like this is gonna be really good. The animation style is also pretty distinct from your usual romance anime, so add this to your watch lists. And you better not start scraping yourselves thinking you'll get a girlfriend. That's not how this works. Number 5, Tales of Wedding Rings Season 2.
あなたが私はモーリオン・ラブリンの彼方かよろしくね
Boy, I never thought this would get a second season, but then again, I'm not surprised. Kekkon Yubiwa Monogatari Season 2 dives back into its medieval fantasy world where adventure, magic, and romance continues. And by romance, I mean handling a 5-woman harem while having 5 rings that make Thanos and his Infinity Stones jealous. At this point, I don't know where else you could push the story to, but I'm sure interested.
指輪の力は絶対必ず深淵王を封印することができる
All jokes aside, I think the reason for this anime's success is because it's promised fan service and gave fan service. And there is also a semblance of a good plot hidden underneath all of it as well, so the author can still continue the story in any direction he wants. So why watch Lord of the Rings when you can have a much better story and action in The Tale of Wedding Rings? Wait, that was sarcasm, don't quote me on that. Number 4, Kakuryou Bed and Breakfast for Spirits 2.
私を隔離用の宿天神屋へとさらいあろうことか祖父の借金の方として私を花嫁にすると言った
Yes, I was surprised about Tales of Wedding Rings getting a second season, but no way in living hell I thought this anime was gonna get a second season. The first season aired in 2018, almost 7 years ago. But hey, I ain't complaining. For those who haven't watched this masterpiece, it's about a girl who lost her grandfather being approached by an ogre. Her grandfather owes him a debt, and in return for her cutting the debt, she needs to work for him.
こうして食事処夕顔を開き隔離用での暮らしが始まって
This is basically Let Her Cook the anime. There's cooking, there's supernatural stuff, there's some nice building romance between a human girl and an ogre who doesn't look like an ogre at all. And it blends into this really wholesome romance slice of life anime. I'm super happy the second season's airing right now because I really need another food anime after watching Delicious in Dungeon. Number 3, My Friend's Little Sister has it for me.
耳まで真っ赤にしちゃって先輩ってば
どうして俺の周りはめんどくさい女ばかりなの
Akiteru's love life is a train wreck. Every girl messes with him, but none of it actually goes anywhere. He figures it's fine since he's more into joining his uncle's game dev team anyway, but then his uncle hits him with the worst deal ever. Pretend to be his cousin's boyfriend or no spot on the team. That's when Iroha shows up, his best friend's sister who lives to roast him every chance she gets. Now our guy's stuck between choosing his friend's sister or cousin.
めんどくさい女の子と仲良くなるにはどうすれば
私に任せてください真城さんの攻略法どーんと教えちゃいますよ
You can tell from the plot itself, this is a certified Japanese classic. Now, the question is if it's going to be one of those trashy classics or one of those classic classics. I really hope they get the love triangle right because I really don't want to have to go through another badly written love triangle. Anyways, fingers crossed, let's see where this goes. Number 2, The Warrior Princess and the Barbaric King.
わしはそなたを花嫁として連れてきたのだが
Serafina de Laviant, a tough knight in the west, just lost a big war to the east. Total bummer. She gets captured by the so-called scary barbarians and thinks her life is about to turn into non-stop pain and misery. But here's the plot twist. Instead of chains, she gets offered marriage to the barbarian king himself. Suddenly, this whole prisoner of war thing looks way different and way weirder.
熱があるのか
When I heard of the plot, I thought this was going to be some sort of grim dark berserk style romance, but to my surprise, this has a comedy tag in it. And the first chapter of the manga also pretty much hooked me. I didn't read it since the anime is getting released in a month, but that first chapter pretty much told me that this is one of those anime I should look forward to. Number 1, Ranma 1/2.
ランちゃんの言い名付けはうち一人や。私優勝する。ラマタ出た。させるか。
And we're jumping back off with a classic, at least a remake of a classic. Ranma 1/2 Season 2 jumps back in without missing a beat. Ranma Saotome is still stuck with that ridiculous curse where cold water flips him into a girl, and hot water switches him back. Think that's weird? Remember, his father turns into a panda? This season goes harder on the comedy and awkward romance stuff, tossing Ranma into more chaos with friends, rivals, and crushes who are all completely bonkers in their own ways.
天道茜ランマをおびき寄せる餌になってもらうだ
One thing about those 90 rom-coms were how completely bonkers they were. Back in the days, writers didn't hesitate to explore crazy concepts, which in turn produced some of the most interesting stories I've seen. Now, that doesn't mean all interesting stories are good stories, but Ranma clearly stands out just because of Ranma and his chemistry with Akane. The remake also does a good job maintaining the same vibe of the old anime, so I'm really looking forward to Season 2.